Oh, my phone. See my phone. I don't want you seeing my collection of porn here. Oh no, not that. Listen. Mag-queue? Ano ba yan? Tagal mag-queue. Ganyan. More reset omen. More reset omen. Hello? Q? Dude, what the hell are you doing, dude? Cure Sarge. Nice. Need more of those. Wala. Oh. Tear gun. Which one? This one. Okay, this one. Let's see. Build one ship. Okay. The fuck is this queue? Am I banned? Am I shadow banned? For what? For being AFK? Is that it? Ay, hindi. Namiss ko yung dalawang hard mode sa Azure. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Yan, tagal lang Ben. Tagal lang queue time. What the fuck? Hello? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Tagal mag-queue. The fuck? Hoy, queue! Ang tagal! Tagal nun ah. Instapick ng jet. Damn. Holy shit. Nice. Instapick jet. Sensodyne.
You to each other. That's just not our thing. One time I got high and I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I just want to tell you, Mom, I love you. And you can hear her start like crying on the other side of the line. She was like, oh, Jimmy, do you have a cancer? I don't know if you guys remember this. Just 3 years ago, there was a movie called The Great Wall.
Yep.
Starring Matt Damon. It was a real movie. It was Matt Damon in ancient China fighting dragons and everybody spoke English. It's like, what the is this? But you gotta understand, I'm not mad at Matt Damon, okay? He's an actor. That's what he does for a living. That's how he gets a check. I get it. I get it. If somebody would have offered me a lead role in a movie called Mount Rushmore, I would play the out of George Washington, you know what I mean? No shame in my game. I'll play George Washington Carver if they let me. That's a black guy, by the way, I don't know. Gotta represent, man. I see a lot of people out here in the streets, they want to come up to me, but they're not really sure. There's a lot of debate amongst their friends. They're like, hey man, are you sure that's him? If we go up there, we gotta be sure, because if we go up there and it's not him, we're gonna look super racist. Are you sure that's not Ken Jeong? I don't know, looks kind of like Ali Wong, I don't know. And they come up to me, it's always like the first thing they say, like, hey man, aren't you that dude Jing Yang from that show Silicon Valley? And I was like, thanks. Thank you. I'm like, yeah, thank you, I appreciate that, yeah, I am. And then they're like, oh, I didn't even know you speak English in real life. Like, it's called acting. Like, did you really think Matt Damon was Chinese? Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know what the disconnect is. Like, if a white actor does a British accent, he's a thespian. He wins an Oscar. If I do a Chinese accent, I'm automatically from the old country. Representation matters. A lot of Asian people come up to me, very proud, very nice. They're like, Jimmy, thank you for representing Asians, man. I'm like, hey, you're welcome. But you do understand it's not really a choice, right?
Ay, binlock pa ako. Gago.
Like when you wake up Asian, you can only represent Asians. I could just wake up one day, I'm representing Nigerians today. I'm very proud to represent Asians, but at the same time, there's so much pressure. Like nobody ever wanted to Matt Damon be like, hey Matt, thanks for representing the whites. It sounds weird. That's like a different conversation for some reason, you know? If somebody came up to me and be like, hey, Jimmy, I'm representing for the whites, I would leave that town immediately and never come back. So much pressure to represent. I gotta be a good Asian everywhere now. I gotta tip everywhere I go. That was one of the major advantages of being Asian, is I can just pretend I don't know how to tip. Y'all know what a Chinese tip is? Chinese tip, it doesn't matter how big your bill is, you tip $2. That's a Chinese tip, man. Now I gotta tip 20% everywhere. I gotta give every Uber driver a 5-star rating just so I can be a good representative. Everywhere I go, I gotta represent. Even day to day, even the bedroom, I gotta represent. After I hooked up with this one girl, this is what she said to me. She's like, Jimmy, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're the first Asian guy I've ever been with. I'm like, okay. What do you want, a fortune cookie? Like what do you want? She acted like she just unlocked a new character on Street Fighter or something. Why do you feel the need to say that? This one girl said this so disrespectful. This is what she said to me after we hooked up. She was like, Jimmy, I'm just glad the stereotype's not true. You don't have a small penis. And I'm like, I understand you just insulted my entire race of people. But thank you. First of all, thank you for thinking that I did have a small penis and we still had sex. You're the real MVP. You get 2 fortune cookies tonight, miss. Thank you.
Hey Mike, have you seen the new season of Earth? It's getting spicy down there, bro. Spicy as in throwing nuclear weapons at each other, or spicy as in they're mad at another movie? Honestly, I don't know why you watch that garbage. The writers should just get it. Damn, Rusky, you were throwing a bunch of missiles, drones, all sorts of shit. Who hurt your feelings, bro? Oh, that was me, the Gephards, the Avengers, pretty much all of our air defense systems. Why? I continue to hit the vessel. Yeah, because I can't be in two places at once. You know, I wonder, if someone picks a fight with you and you say, meet me here after dark, and then you show up in a completely different location, you just tell people you won? Is that how it works? Honestly, my stomach is growling. Your terrible missiles just don't cut it anymore. Can I have a few more pilots? If you keep rubbing me down, suicide. I mean, honestly, how do you not love that character? Oh yeah, and you hit another one of my drones with another flare? Are you done yet? Really? Leroy! Hold it! Stop it. I love the energy. We're just not there yet. Wait, is the apocalypse supposed to happen this season? No, I don't think so. You know, if it's so supposed to happen this season? No, I don't think so. You know, if you're so invested in how the rest of the world is doing, how about you offer some healthcare? You guys know aliens exist, right? Like they're real? I will be honest, I did not see that one coming. You must be joking. Yeah, they just cruise around in this tic-tac thing, and they can go underwater and way up into the sky. It's wild. Jesus Christ, who was it? It was Greg, I'm sorry, he made me promise not to tell you. Yeah, we've even managed to recover debris from the crash one. Greg, you owe me a new tic-tac SS. You mean to tell me that there's an entire other species of aircraft for me to pick a fight with, and all I get is fucking balloons?
Man, I'm so shit right now.
The back and forth between Moist Critical and Sneeko could qualify as one of the biggest beefs in YouTube history. However, the tension between the two has recently escalated to unprecedented levels of animosity, because after a series of tweets and videos of Charlie dismantling Sneeko's reputation, Sneeko has resorted to challenging Charlie to a fight and threatening his life with a gun.
Moist Critical, you wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips.
Now we first need to set the scene for the conflict between them. In the red corner stands no other than the king of all commentary, Penguin Zero, who not only earned a reputation as a humble, funny, and down-to-earth guy, but was also one of the first ever creators to join the platform back in 2007. His dry humor, monotone voice, Jesus-like appearance, coupled with his creative
Someone's mute, I hear something.
敵残り1名
リロード中中央に敵がいるふんだここよ
Wag mo na i-push! Pag ikot na matay, gagawa.
あと30秒
スパイクを設置アルティメットいけるわ思い知ったまだ使えない突破口
Nanalo din.
あとは突き進むだけ
creative use of vocabulary have made him one of the most iconic figures in YouTube history. No other creator on the platform has presented the same relatability and authenticity seen in Charlie's videos, as most videos are now filled with over-energetic and overdone personalities.
中央でキャリアダウンパーフェクト。
Nag-push kasi yung dalawa eh. Sinugod yung mid eh.
さあ行きますよ。回復するわ。
A でキャリアダウン。ここでは私がルールだ。捉えた。
リロー
最後の一人だ。敵残り1名。
Ba yan?
スパイクの場所まで競争だね。 装備くれない？サンキュー。進め。行け。爆発注意。
ここだ。
B に敵がいる。
ここよ。最後の一人だ。アタック側スポーンでキャリアダウン。平気なふりをしても無駄よ。心臓の音でわかるもの。
装備くれない？サンキュー。
Pinablock ako nung ano, isa. Wala. Pinablock ako. Ano, stomp to. Grabe naman.
よし、やるよ。
ダメだ。
Guns out.
目を奪う。
kayo namamatay?
最後の一人だ 残り1名
Paano kayo namamatay? Nangyayari sa inyo?
うわーステージあんたが本気出すとおっかないね
Ang inang yan.
いいじゃん
Medvedev.
I get
Threat.
Sorry. Sans, hello, hi. What's up? Ah, I'm blind. Peek, sige, peek. Sige.
A でキャリアダウン敵残り1名
Elbow.
最後の
Fuck!
一人だ
Nako. No way. Are we gonna lose? Ayun, kita mo. Shish.
攻守交代前最終ラウンドここで取っといても意味ないよ全部使い切ろう
Ano naman to mga to?
Alright,
欲しいものは
can't get laid. Bill, I'm a huge fan. I listen to all your podcasts and stand up. Says I need some advice. I'm starting my sophomore year of college and I've never been more depressed. My high school girlfriend broke up with me shortly after graduation and I haven't gotten laid since. It's not like I stay in my room all day. I have friends and I go to parties at least once a week, and even though I never enjoy myself, I just can't get a girl to be interested in me. I also have no idea what I want to do after college, and so I have no motivation to apply myself. The only reason I haven't dropped out is because my parents, who are paying thousands and thousands of dollars, I don't drop out so they won't be disappointed. I work out every day and I try to stay busy, but most of the time I just feel terrible. I'm hoping you have some advice for me. All right. You obviously have a sense of humor. What would my advice be? You know what? I think you're trying too hard. All right? There's no reason to go to a party and not have a good time. Just go there and enjoy yourself. Don't worry about talking to women. Don't worry about trying to get laid. Just have a good time. Just enjoy yourself. Just go out in life and just fucking enjoy yourself. Okay? People are attracted to positive energy and somebody having a good time. It makes them want to be around you, and next thing you know, somebody's blowing you. I don't understand why the universe works that way, but it does. I know I am overly simplifying this, but, you know, it's good that you know that you're depressed. I was depressed for about 20
Oh my
years.
God, I'm so
I didn't
bad.
realize it because I was so used to feeling that way. I thought it was just the normal, you know,
Who you been?
normal state of things. I gotta tell you the truth. You are gonna get a girlfriend, and you're gonna find love, and you're gonna get married. Okay? But I gotta tell you, there's a fucking misery that comes to that life.
残り1名
All right? There's a great thing, but there's also a misery, and she feels it fucking too. And that's a part of you, the individual you dies. So right now, dude, you are the 40-year-old you is gonna look back at if the 40-year-old you could get in a time machine and sit down with you right
Nice.
now and give you a fucking pregame speech before you went to that party. I mean, that would be like scared straight. He'd be right in your face.
クラッチ
You know, you have any idea
それが何か
what what it's like to get up at 5 in the morning and change a shitty diaper? You get to sleep 10 hours a fucking day? You can't put a smile on your face when you go to a fucking party? Single? You could fuck anything that walks? You go down to that 7-Eleven. Look at me! You go down to that 7-Eleven, you get yourself a box of fucking condoms. You stick them, you stick one in your pocket. Prepare for success! You iron your goddamn shirt, you get down there, you have a good fuck.
Whoa. They're not gonna push in. What the fuck? My turn. Aray. Oh no, we're gonna lose, are we? Oh my god, I hate. Nasa likod ko na. Hirap. My bad. Pwede pa tayong sky doon, no? Kakasar, hirap. Ang hirap. It's so hard. One's in. If I one's got. Damn. Oh fuck. Dude.
本当に可愛い子。肌の触れ合いがお望みなら恥ずかしがらず私の胸の中に飛び込むがいいわ。相棒たちの出番だね。見てないよ。壁を展開。気をつけて。返してもらうよ。アディオ。いけ。目を奪うわ。狩りの時間だ。
Tag 80 on Omen.
欲しいのは敵の命よ。あなたたちじゃなくて。
Wow, okay. Are we gonna lose? I think we are. Once in A main.
スパイクを設置。敵残り1名。
I wanna play Call of Duty. Should I play Call of Duty?
Rough times are coming. What with the cascading consequences of energy shortage, supply chain disruption, energy, and last but by no means least, severe and looming food and fertilizer shortage. Kane and his mob are gone into the utopian clouds. There is absolutely no excuse for this.
Warning, ion cannon activated.
Oh shit. Hell. Come on. Lurker ba to? I mean, that skin sucks. So lame. It's so lame. So distracting. Is she? Oh.
Ato 30秒。 害をなす者は死んでない。誰か買ってもらえますか?
Damot naman itong mga to. Damot. Wow, can you see a guy? Wait, may sa... The fuck? It's me. Huwag natin sa akin. Bulag ba kayo?
Spike 解除よ。ここ。スパイク解除してありがとう。リロード。愚かなこと。
Why is he still there? Man. Andun pa rin siya. Nako. Nice. Ayan, nakakahabol pa tayo.
My dad still calls me like 20 times a day just to check up on me. It's annoying, but I understand that's how he shows love. I was talking to my friend here, and he was like, "Oh, I haven't talked to my dad in 3 weeks." I'm like, "What, is he in jail?" He was like, "No, I live with him. I just haven't talked to him in 3 weeks." I'm like, "You do understand? If I don't call my dad back in 3 hours, he's gonna call 911. 911, what's your emergency? My son is dead." It's like, "Sir, is everything okay? Is your son dead?" He's like, "No, but he's dead to me." Okay, bye. That's just how we show love. My parents, they've been married for 38 years.
What the f?
Yeah, 38 years. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. 38 years. One time I asked my dad, I was like, "Dad, after 38 years, do you still love Mom?" And he was like, "Love? Your mom married me to escape communist China. It's not love, it's a good deal." That's how we show love, people. I've been in this country for almost 20 years now. I think I feel every bit. But I think other people still don't see it. As an Asian American, a lot of times people see you as Asian before they ever see you as American. Even still till today, whenever I tell people I'm from Hong Kong, this is always the first thing they say. They're like, "Oh yeah? You from Hong Kong? Yeah, dude. From Hong Kong, yeah. Ni hao." Like, do you think that's impressive or something? I don't understand the mindset behind that. You coming up to me to say ni hao, it's like me coming up to you guys after the show. I'm like, "Oh, you guys from here? Yeah, y'all from here? Hi." It's not impressive. It's annoying. It's stupid. I don't even like going to Chinese restaurants with some of my friends anymore, because this is what they do to me every time. They're like, "Jimmy, you speak Chinese? You speak Chinese? Yeah. Order in Chinese, bro. They're gonna hook it up. Order in Chinese? Bro, order in Chinese, bro." I'm like, "Bro, we're at Panda Express." She's Mexican. Like, what? Her name tag says Consuela. That's not Mandarin or Cantonese. Nothing has really changed, you know? Like about 10 years ago, I went on a college trip to Tijuana, Mexico. Because that's just what a good American college student would do. And the thing is, walking into Mexico from the US, they don't check anything. There's just a big revolving door. You walk right in. They don't even check your ID. It's easier to get into Mexico than a Costco. You just walk in.
Ah. Amen. Nice. Ang ina, buhat na buhat ako ah. Ang ina, grabe yung ano ko. Core ko. Pang-bait lang. Basura. Basura po. Ang inang yan, basura ko naman.
I'm gonna be brutally during the whole trip that I looked at her face and I thought to myself, hey, you don't look so bad. Actually, you look quite nice. I know it's pretty unfair of me to criticize the way she looks.
An asshole thing to say. Panay DC yung ano isa. Ayun, panay hindi mga DC yung mga kasama ko.
You don't look so bad. You look quite nice, actually. Yeah, don't worry about my chat lips.
It's because she's a single parent and she has a full-time job, so it must be a lot of stress. She must be very tired most of the time. And I had a child of mine and I was a single parent, so I wouldn't look like this.
You know what's confusing me about this? This doesn't say ex-girlfriend.
Yes, she's gonna see that. But then again, what is this about?
He's talking about how his girlfriend's face is not attractive.
Weird, bro.
What's that? Imagine if like you just log on and do
My girl's
and,
like,
and your girlfriend's like, you know what? So let me talk to y'all about it.
hi guys. Yeah, about a piece.
I'm just so confused. I don't understand if you had that conversation with your boys, with your friends, but just blasting that online, I don't. It's just so uncomfortable, you know?
Why am I watching this?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I feel like people share way too much online, and they share too much about things while still in that relationship. You acknowledge she's stressed, you acknowledge she's going through stuff, and you think it's a prudent idea to add on to that stress by blasting her and saying like she looks tired, her face is not that attractive. It's weird because he doesn't seem like an idiot. Right, he seems fairly like thoughtful and you can think things through.
That don't mean.
But it also seems like, do you not have any awareness? Do you not recognize how socially awkward that is? Well, he's thought about it, right? Like, it's not like he just says,
Fuck.
he's like, I understand why. She's got a kid, she works long hours, so you know what makes sense.
Ang inang blend yan.
That's why my initial reaction. So why he's able to analyze the situation, so he has some measure for why you here then. Why you here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You understand? I don't understand how A happened, but then B didn't follow. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's like a nigga who's in the gym, they're working out, right? You see him pumping weights, and you're like, yo, man. And what kind of protein you take? He's like, what's protein powder? And it's like,
You're in a gym,
and you look like Arnold. Like, how do you not know? Right? Like, it just, I don't know. It's throwing me off, bro.
Like you thought go to Arnold. Yeah, going to Arnold and saying, yo, can you get me that dumbbell? What's a dumbbell? Nigga, you Arnold! There's a whole competition about you. I don't get it. I don't get it why it's on the internet. I don't get it why you were saying that. I don't get why you recorded it, why you posted it. I don't get why we watched it. There's no insight right there.
Hey, bro, I told you. When I told you I don't watch these videos, I told you I don't watch.
I can see. I don't believe you.
I also like the fact that she doesn't mind breaking rules. When we was driving back from Tokyo to Nagano Prefecture, she was speeding pretty much the whole way. The maximum speed on the motorway was about...
Holy shit.
Imagine.
攻守を交代マッチポイント
勝つためにはまず目の前の仕事を片付けないと
How your life would be.
Yak 130. Russia converts training plane into attack aircraft. The refit.
Damn. Mas ka sa tabi ko. Pag tayo dito, na collateral tayo dito. Mukha tayong tanga dito.
Overtime.
なんだろう私たちと似てるでもここよ何かが違う
Kung narinig sa seta atong isa na to. Seta ba yan? Di naman.
Will allow the Yak.
リロード見えないでしょ影が向かう彼の時間だ壁を展開
Ano ba tando yun? Uy, nandiyan si Jet. Nag-blind ka, gago. Push, layo. Fuck. Tingin na naman. Ang-dev kayo.
敵残り1名
Hindi natamaan doon. Push kayo saan? Tapang yun naman. Doon nakabili ng barrel puta.
ダウン
Hindi ako nakabili ng baril pa, utang ina.
スパイクを設置 B に敵確認狩りの時間だやられた最後の一人だ見えないでしょ攻守を交代オーバータイム
Come on, I wanna go to bed. I'm so tired.
さあ戦いの時間です
Ukraine is using North Korean rockets to hit Russia. They say that a friendly nation seized them from a Russian ship and gave them to Ukraine. The friendly nation is suspected to be either the United States or South Korea. However, Ukrainians don't actually like using those rockets because they have a high dud rate because they're North Korean and nearly 40 years old. But ammo's ammo. Subscribe to stay in the loop. Ukraine is using North Korean rockets to hit Russia. They say...
目を奪う
Ano, bulag na bulag ako, putang ina. Putan, dun pala.
残り1名最後の一人だ OK 少し休んだら次行くよ攻守を交代マッチポイント
Hindi ako nakabili ng baril kanina. Eh, regardless, nakapatay naman ako ng isa eh. This game is too damn long. That's what she said. Indeed.
B でキャリアダウン敵残り1
Kung ina nyo ah. Ang ina nyo ah. Kala nyo ah. Ang ina nyo ah. Sabi niya dog shit omen. $28 lang yun. Na ako MVP to sa huli. Kaya na mga gold. Ako lang yung gold dito. Plat 1. Ay na, tataas. Kaya pa nagaling ng mga players dito eh. Gold 3. Nice. So 9 points na lang.
China has planted malware inside of networks controlling power grids, communication systems, and water supplies that feed U.S. military bases all around the world. And now the U.S. is hunting for it in a panic under the belief that China could activate the code to disrupt the U.S. military in the event of a conflict or when China makes a move on Taiwan, with one official calling it a ticking time bomb. And if China were to use the malware, it wouldn't just affect the bases. It would also affect everyday Americans as domestic U.S. bases use the same infrastructure. Follow to stay in the loop. A U.S. admiral and former U.S. Supreme Allied Commander of NATO has suggested the U.S. Navy and NATO escort Ukraine ships exporting grain in the Black Sea, with him saying they would bundle merchant ships into 3 to 5 ship convoys, each escorted by a couple of guided missile warships, with him citing how the U.S. Navy did the same thing in the Persian Gulf when Iran was sinking Kuwait's oil vessels. And the justification for this would be that blockades are illegal and that there's no declared state of war between Ukraine and Russia. The serious flaw in the plan is that your average Russian sailor is a moron, and Biden is too risk-averse for such a plan. But hey, follow to stay in the loop. A U.S. admiral and former U.S. Supreme Ireland says they wouldn't offer condolences to Russia if Putin died, and they wouldn't send a delegation to go to his funeral. But this is the global politics version of this.
You know what? I'm about to say it. Say it. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Ireland says they wouldn't offer condolences to
We're men among men and manly.
Trading game where you take 2 people and you say to one of them, they're partners now, you say, okay, I'm going to give you $100, and you have to offer your partner some fraction of that, and if your partner refuses, neither of you get anything. It's like, what are you going to offer? And so now the classical economics presumption is that the person making the offer, who's maximizing their rational self-interest, should offer their partner $1, because then they get $99, right? The first person. And the classical economist also says because the recipient is maximizing their rational self-interest, they should accept the bloody $1 because, well, you want nothing or do you want $1? But that isn't how it plays out in the real world. Not at all. What happens is that cross-culturally, people offer something approximating 50%. So
Always been. Because if it's not, it's just wasting time. Should I play one more? You know what? Just one more game.
At the eagerly awaited meeting between Russia and Africa in St. Petersburg, the Russian President Vladimir Putin made a remarkable promise that captured the attention of people all around the world. Despite facing tough Western sanctions, he pledged to gift tens of thousands of tons of grain to countries in need across the African continent. During the Russia-Africa summit held on July 28th, Putin promised to provide free grain to 6 African countries: Burkina Faso, Zimbabwe, Mali, Somalia, Eritrea, and the Central African Republic. He stated that Russia is ready to supply grain to these nations instead of Ukraine. Putin highlighted the significant role Russia plays in global food security and expressed dedication to creating a fairer system for sharing resources to prevent a worldwide food shortage. He also announced Russia's expectation of another record harvest this year and offered to replace Ukrainian grain through both commercial deals and grant aid. The choice not to continue the Ukraine grain export, aka Black Sea grain deal, which was arranged by the United Nations and Turkey, raised worries about how it could affect food prices all over the world. During the 2-day summit in St. Petersburg, people closely watched to see how much support President Putin had in Africa, even though Russia was isolated by many countries after invading Ukraine. Despite this isolation, Putin still had backing from African nations. The Kremlin accused Western countries of trying to stop African states from taking part in the summit, making the situation more complicated. As
Что касается польских лидеров, то, вероятно, они рассчитывают под...
If this game dodges, I'm gonna go bed.
When they forgot to bring their umbrella to the beach to keep them shaded, their dog wasn't having it. So he actually left them and found a new family who actually brought theirs. And this is him happy in the shade, not regretting his decision. When they forgot to bring...
See, I think the power dynamic that we live with was set by a man, obviously. I think he was going to make it equal. I really believe that. And I think the day he was going to set it up, he was leaving his house, and his wife stopped him at the door. And she was like, you know, you were titty fucking a brunette in my dream last night. And he was like, you know what? No. You're gonna answer the phones. That's what you're gonna do. And then he walked away. Okay. Don't accurately joke about our culture. All right. Really? That's not funny. You don't think there's a couple of people in here right now who are like, I do answer the phones. Like, is that funny? Or Monday, she'll be like, hi, thank you for, oh, fuck him. Fuck that guy. Okay? See, I think the power dynamic that we live with was set by a man, obviously. I think he was going to make it equal. I really believe that. And I think the day he was going to set it up,
敵にレイナがいる。奴を狩るぞ。心臓を狙えよ。よ。よ。悪かったな。
Utang ina, di kayo nag-push. Nag-smoke lang kayo. Kabaya yata tong soba. Ang ano gumalaw eh. Alam niya eh.
Paracetamol, or acetaminophen as it's known commercially, is one of the most widely used over-the-counter drugs for pain relief in the world. Due to its easy access, it's also commonly used in intentional overdose. Paracetamol reduces pain by inhibiting enzymes in the COX pathway. When you have an injury like a pulled muscle, this trauma damages cells, which release a host of enzymes. One enzyme in particular, called phospholipase, breaks down phospholipids in the cell membrane into arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid is then converted into prostaglandins by COX enzymes. These newly made prostaglandins then signal healing mechanisms like fever and vasodilation in blood vessels, treating the injured tissue but also causing pain as a result. Paracetamol reduces pain by slowing the activity of the COX enzyme.
人だろうが50人だろうが関係ねえ。行くぞ。
This decreases the production of arachidonic acid into prostaglandins. Less prostaglandins means there's less signaling, therefore reducing pain. When taken in correct doses, paracetamol is quite safe and very useful. The maximum limit for a grown adult is 4 grams per day, or about 8 pills. However, when taken in large quantities, it becomes toxic and potentially fatal. Toxic doses are estimated to be about 10 grams for an adult or 20 pills. But to know how paracetamol overdose works, you first have to understand how it's broken down in the body. Paracetamol is metabolized in the liver into 3 different products at different amounts. It's converted into paracetamol glucuronide at 55%, paracetamol sulfate at 30%, and paracetamol glutathione at 15%. All 3 products are non-toxic, but there's a catch. When you take too much paracetamol, paracetamol glutathione becomes a very harsh equation. Before it's made into paracetamol glutathione, it's made into a precursor called N-acetyl-D-benzquinonamine, or more simply, NAPQI. NAPQI is extremely toxic to the liver and causes severe damage in large quantities. Luckily, under normal conditions, this precursor is quickly converted into the non-toxic paracetamol glutathione. It's when someone overdoses that this pathway becomes unbalanced. In an overdose, the first 2 pathways become overwhelmed and can't keep up with the incoming paracetamol. This excess supply is rerouted to the 3rd pathway. Normally, this pathway produces the least amount of metabolite, just 15%, but now it's saturated. Since there's more
Ano nangyari yan? Mga ano ba itong mga to? Mga quad stack ba to? Alam ko hindi pwede mag quad stack pag ano eh. Hindi pwede mag yung quad stack, diba? Pag ano. Ano siya napunta ra? Ano yung spot yun? Alam mo ah.
Lolo, one HP.
Easy. Got the ace. Panic yung Reyna eh. Tumalon siya bigla eh. Man, alam nung ano, siguro baka narinig ako tumatalon dun. Kaya ano, sumilip sa taas. Ay isa. Di naman. So solo naman yun. the fuck?
Oh yeah! Monster が行くぞ! スパイクを設置.
Fuck! Na-messed up ko yung spray. Putang ina. Kamali ako sa spray. Patay ko dapat yung isa ron. Yeah. Bad trip. Ano kaya yung makukuha ko ngayong ano? Ngayong buwan. Need to work harder, man. Charge がないわ。バリアよ。ここよ。ダメだ。Tanga. Ah, pinlaid na ako.
Cancel.
My god, my spray. Last kayo med. Hookah, hookah. Pushing hookah. Tagal mo. Talo pa. Ang galing. Diyos ko. Sa kaliwa yan. Tagal mo. Punyemas ka. Naglakad ka. Naglakad ang puta.
Susume. Charge がないわ。
Panik Asia. BB.
Wow.
こよ。スパイクを解除して。ここよ。
Okay, next round.
Hey everyone, it's Connor here from Durham Hearing Specialists. I hope you're doing well, and welcome back to another episode of Hard as Nails earwax. And this patient, as you can see, it's just a brick wall really. We're not going to get through this. It's wax. It's the kind of classic wax hair mesh, I suppose you could say. And what we're going to do actually, cause we're going to take a slightly different approach here. Scene has been cut. You can see everything looks kind of moist now. That's because I irrigated it for a minute with water.
Para kayong mga Taliban.
A でキャリアダウン。
One shot.
Fuck. Patay.
Nokori 1名。
And I'll upload another video of me doing that, but essentially, for all intents and purposes, we're just squirting water into the air for a minute, and holding a cup by the patient's ear, and so on and so forth. So the classic, sort of similar to the classic syringing method, except we're using an electronic machine to achieve that, and it's much safer, and it pulses water at a steady rate, quite a low flow rate. And what this does is, well, as you can see, it just loosens everything up nicely.
What the fuck is that? Wow, okay. Damn it.
It turns difficult jobs into easy jobs. But I wasn't expecting this. I mean, this is, well, judge for yourself when it comes out. It is, it's like a cylinder.
What the fuck is that? Is that a bolt?
Perfectly shaped.
スパイクを設置。
cylinder of just, you know, hard as nails. Last little bit near the eardrum, and nice looking eardrum revealed there. Fairly clean looking ear. So this side was, I mean, obviously this side was bothering the patient quite a lot, but his next ear, this is the right ear, the left ear was also bothering him, but he was getting a lot of pain on this side. This side was really agitating him. He had taken lots of painkillers to no avail, tried to fix the job himself with cotton buds, which just made the pain a lot worse, and you'll see.
What's that? Wala ako dyan, tanga. Wala ako dyan. Shit! Nako. Ba yan? Basura naman ang sopa. Tain na. Hindi ko napatay isa ron, nakakasar. Yung Reyna, nagkamali ako sa ano.
Why? So I don't think I've irrigated this side, but he's chucked in enough drops to make the debris a little bit more pliable, shall we say. But the reason that this side is hurting is that his eardrum is really bruised.
Walang dumaan na. Oh my god, shouldn't have left. Wala, my bad. Bulag pa ako dun. Pinline pa ako. Putang na.
Lab.
And well, in comparison to bruises you get on the rest of your body, they're really tiny, but it's really sensitive down there. And again, when it's on your eardrum and then you've got loads of debris shoved up against the eardrum, it can be excruciatingly painful. So again, I'm just sort of going slowly here and trying my best to sort of pick apart this debris whilst not, trying to avoid the patient jumping out of his seat. So we'll just remove this debris here. And again, because this ear is so painful, I was quite nervous to use the irrigator. I mean, we all hear about, the downsides of syringing the ear, irrigating the ear with water for fear of perforating the eardrum, and realistically, that's I've never actually heard of that happening to a colleague, or I've heard of it happening to patients, but only the sort of old school methods where they used a big metal syringe and they literally pumped water into the ear at a dangerously high pressure. The machines that we have now, at least in the UK anyway,
ang inang yan.
They're electronically driven, and you can whack up the pressure if you want to, but for the most part these people keep it on a low pressure. And you aim the stream of water upwards at the roof of the ear canal, not directly at the eardrum. So there we go. We can
Gago naman nung Grace, di niya napatay agad yun.
Bluish grey skin, and all we want to do really is just to reveal the eardrum. What I was slightly worried that it was perforated given the amount of pain he was in, but again you can see the debris is really just a thick mesh of hair and wax. And those of you who are fans of the channel, I'm sure you remember the episode where I compared it to piecrete, which is there we go. So you can see, I'll pause it when we're in a good frame and the endoscope is demisted. I'll pause it here. Not there. There. So the eardrum, you can see where the bruises are. So there's two little purple splodges. Those are the bruises, or hematoma, or I guess that would kind of be purpura. So like in terms of like bruising, which is called hematoma, so like bleeding or red blood cells have escaped out of ruptured blood vessels and is like seeping into the tissue, so that's a bruise or blood blister. And they come in from small to large. You have petechia, which is like small little blood spots. Like I'm sure you've seen petechia before, like maybe you've been slapped on the arm and you get lots of little red marks there. That's petechia. A larger sort of bruise, so to speak, would be purpura, and that's probably what these would be. And then a large bruise would be ecchymosis. So these are two little spots of purpura. And you can tell, some of you may be thinking, well, was that due to the suction? Maybe as you were removing all the debris or suctioning around you caused that. We can tell that this is actually quite difficult to kind of time how old the bruise is. But it's certainly not fresh, because if it was fresh, it would be bright red. And then as a bruise or purpura gets older, the blood clots, it deoxygenates, and then it goes a darker color, and you can see that's very clearly purple. So there we go. At least we've revealed the eardrum. Everything's horribly inflamed, so we're going to have to do this in another step. Patient's going to come back a week later so I can check on that purpura, and once the inflammation's calmed down and everything's okay, then I can chuck some sodium bicarb in there and clear up. But absolutely nightmarish, hard as nails earwax there. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section below, and I will try my very best to get back to you. And of course, I will see you guys on the next episode.
What? May papatay ah. God damn it. Sabi ko may papatay. Got peek here. Lalabas dito yan. Tagal mo lumabas ah.
戦い続けろ。たとえ一人でも止まるわけにはいかねえんだ。B に行く。装備がいる。ダメだ。
Tap.
Charge がないわ。グレネード。
行くぜ。さあ、ポータルがやられた。
What? 99 brimstone. Tangay lang yan. Fuck. Kamali ako sa spray dun. Tangay ng ano yan. Phantom yan. After getting my earwax removed. Ang hindi ko napatay yung ano.
Hey everyone, it's Connor here from Durham Hearing Specialists. I hope you're doing well, and welcome back to another episode of hard as nails earwax. This particular case was quite interesting. We've got very, very dense mass of earwax trapped in the ear canal, and clearly it's infested with some kind of fungus. I'm not sure what the species is, but at the end of the video I will take this sample and put it under the microscope so we can all have a look at it in very high magnification. But this patient presented to the clinic with itching in both ears, same fungus in the other ear I think, and she found this ear to be a little bit painful at times, and it's not surprising why. I mean, this mass is so hard and dry and crusty, it's probably putting a little bit of pressure on the ear canal. But I don't think the fungus is, pathogenic in the sense that it's causing disease. It's not burrowing into tissue and destroying cells and things, probably. I think it's just happily growing on this earwax, and it's feeding on the wax. That's what it's doing there. I'm a bit clueless as to what the species is. It's definitely not the two most common types of fungus that you would find in an ear, which we've shown on the channel before, which is Candida, or thrush, and Aspergillus. Candida, very...
Huwag ka mamamatay sopa. Fuck. What the fuck? Ba't may muli dun? Ang ina. Hindi niya tinira yung ano.
Very easy to recognize, often presents with a sort of, wet, sloughy, moist, creamy kind of debris. And Aspergillus, if the fungus is mature enough, which I think this is, it will present with aerial hyphae, which means that the spores of Aspergillus will often present with like a head, and then it'll be atop of a fine filament going into the air, so aerial hyphae. And this is neither of those two. In fact, under the microscope you will see the spores of this fungus, but it's definitely not upon aerial hyphae. They're kind of like woven into the mat of the fungus. Very, very extensive, you can see. This is clearly mature growth. Patient a lot happier that it's out. See, I can barely dig my crocodile forceps into it. It's so hard. In fact, I would probably suggest that this massive earwax is in many ways kind of, I guess, strengthened and bolstered by the mycelium, by the fungus kind of rooting into it. And if we were to kind of, so there's the eardrum back there. Again, the ear canal's just still got fungal growth on it. So this patient will need antifungal drops to finish this off. But if I was to cut, like take slices of that mass that we just pulled out, you would see that this kind of fungal web of hyphae, which are like little kind of strands of the fungus, are burrowing all the way through. It's not just surface growth. The fungus is burrowing itself in, rooting itself into this food source, basically. So, and this is what we call, I guess you can consider this kind of a saprophytic or saprotrophic organism. So troph means to feed. So like an autotroph would be a plant that feeds itself. A heterotroph would be something that feeds on you or feeds on others, hetero meaning other, so like bacteria that kind of eat up your throat, like streptococcus, strep throat bacteria that attack your cells. And a lot of fungal species are saprotrophs. They feed on dead or decaying matter. And technically wax is kind of dead matter. It's just dead skin cells and sebum and other secretions mixed together. This is the other ear. Again, quite suspicious really, because the fungus is in both ears. And I'm wondering, I kind of interviewed the patient a little bit, but they didn't have a clue as to what was going on. We have no idea how this got in both ears. I suppose it's feasible to assume that maybe the fungus somehow got in one ear and then, through, scratching the ear, then transferred it to the other ear. But we're going to pull this out. And it's not a particularly difficult job on this side. The patient didn't have any pain on this side, just very intense itching. So not hard to see why. I decided just to try and get this little bit out of the crocodile forceps, but we are very near to the eardrum, and the ear canal in this portion of the ear is really sensitive because it's very thin skin on bone. So I just decided to proceed with suction. Again, we can't strip everything away, so we're going to have to let the antifungal drops kind of do the rest at this point. But if we can just get rid of that last little segment down there. Again, that little segment there, very, very hard, just like a little kind of stone. That's how hard it is. So we'll get rid of that. And then I'll show you the big mass that we call that, what that looks like on the microscope at very, very high magnification. And you'll be able to see the mycelium, okay, which is the kind of bed and weave of the fungus. So there it is, compound microscope. We're going to look at it at maybe times 40, times 80 magnification, just so you can see. Now this particular type of fungus, well, like most fungi, other than